Good morning. My name is Paul Church from Clarity Craft here in the UK. Welcome to another episode of Groovi Tuesday. I hope everybody's well. This chair's a little bit high. I'm just going to lower it down a little bit. I hope everybody's well. Good morning, Karen, over on our YouTube page already, waiting patiently. A wet day in Shoreham. Yeah, it's rather sort of grey and dull here in Edenbridge in Kent. And good morning, Mo. First in over on Facebook. The lovely Jane should be in the room with you this morning. Good morning, Karen, Jill. There we go. Everybody's coming in now. Pull up a chair, grab a hot drink, maybe tea, coffee, and yeah, we'll wait for a few of our friends to join us. Sound is good. Thank you, Jane. So if you have any questions, Jane's there to help you out. And I'm sure some of our lovely other design team, see Carol Baker's in the room as well. And no doubt Josie and Glynis will probably be popping in as well. So if there's anything that's not sure about, then Jane will send me a message as well. So I hope everybody's well. I can't believe Christmas. It seemed like ages ago when we were speaking about Christmas, all the way back in June. I thought, oh yeah, there's plenty of time to go yet. And now, all of a sudden, it's sort of approaching rather fast. So it's 5 a.m. in Rhode Island with Humberta. Goodness me. Joy, good morning. Nova Scotia. Good morning, Joy, or after, yeah, morning. See, the beauty of the internet and social media, whether you're tuning in via our Facebook page or YouTube, then we're here to keep you company. And today we're embarking on a brand new project using a plate designed by the lovely Jazz. Now, hands up who tuned in at 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon for Clarity Social TV with Barb and Jazz. I watched that back this morning because I was off at the dentist yesterday, and didn't she do well? Barb, I mean, no, Jazz. Jazz will be joining me this afternoon at 2 o'clock, and we're going to be having a look at another two of her Desert Island disc designs. So it's great, isn't it, to be able to put a face to a name. And she's like a pure natural in front of the camera. So as Barb said, time to retire. We'll be fighting that retirement door, definitely. So Jazz will be joining me at 2 o'clock this afternoon for another episode of Clarity Social TV. If you missed the episode from yesterday, don't forget you can go to claritycrafts.com, and then on the homepage you'll find a lovely turquoise button that says Clarity TV. You can click into there. You can see what the current TV show is all about with the products being showcased. And then there's a little area that says catch up. If you click on there, you'll be able to go back and watch previous episodes of Clarity Social TV. Or alternatively, if you go to the claritycrafts.com YouTube channel, you can go back and watch everything on there, from the Shack, Groovi Tuesday, all of the Clarity Social TV episodes, as well as a lot of step-by-step tutorials that Barb did way back in the day. I remember Barb, I would say, would be one of the first crafters to go online, and it was called YouTube Tuesday. And it was sort of like a step-by-step tutorial. So they're great. Go back and have a look. You'll definitely lose a few hours perusing through the catalogue or the back history, because there's a good few hours on there. So yeah, there we go. Everyone's coming in. Lillian, Josie, Sally, Clive. Yeah, she's very, very good, is our Jazz. And as I say, she'll be joining me at 2 o'clock this afternoon. But the design we're going to start working on today is one of Jazzy's designs as well. So let's have a look. We launched this, oh, when was it? Where are we now? With December. It was in November we launched this collection from Jazz. Let's have a look on the overhead. Okay. So these are Jazzy's A4 sampler plates. So there is a bundle available, which is the item number is 42401, and that will get you the Rosie sampler and the festive sampler. Now, if you just want Rosie, 42396. If you just want the festive, 42395. And these are A4 plates. Okay, so you can see there you've got 6 different panels on them, like so. And then there are your festive ones. In addition, you also have sentiments down the side. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Just bear with me for a moment. Where's my piece of paper gone? Zoom out. I need to go that way. There we go. So as I say, these are A4 plates, and with Jazz, we know, like as always, with many of our designers, from Jazz to Linda to Tina, it's all about putting as much onto a Groovi plate as possible. So if you're new to Groovi, then these are a good way to get started. But if you've been parching for many a year, then these are also great as well. And I thought what we would do, we'd have a look at some artwork. So we're going to concentrate on the Rosie one. So let me put the festive to one side. Just bear with, I'm going to pop that over there. I mean, when I say festive, I mean, it is festive. Sorry, I digress. Let me bring it back in. You've got your poinsettias, but they could be dahlias. You've got your mistletoe. Yeah, okay, mistletoe, winter. You've got bells. These would be great for weddings. Then you have a bauble, or is it a birdhouse? I see a little birdhouse there. A star throughout the year. And then also your candles. Replace the foliage at the bottom. It could be a birthday candle. So really not just festive, I think. And in addition to that, each of them have a different border or frame around the outside, which you can mix and match between the 2 different plates. So if you was interested in the complete bundle, I think we've still got it at the special price, 42401. If you just want Rosie, 42396. Maybe you just want festive, 42395. So let's have a look at Rosie in a little bit more detail. Let's pop that over there. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to zoom in so we can sort of look at one at a time. Definitely getting my Groovi yoga in. So let me have a look. So we're going to zoom in. There we go. There we go. So let's look at some artwork from the design team and what you can do with them. So the first one we're going to look at is a piece by Josie Davidson. And Josie has taken the rose, she's taken the frame, and often I find when I'm looking at a new plate, I miss bits. And it's not until you trace it out that you see it's got a lovely frame around the outside. You've got these little dots in each of the corners. Okay, so this is a piece by Josie. Josie's taken a Pico circle, die cut that, and then used the basic grids to fill the background. So that's that piece of artwork. Then the next one is from Jill Askham. Now what Jill has done is she's taken the same frame, and rather than trace out the lines, let me bring this in over on this camera. Where we're going. Let's have a look. Really, I don't know if Jill has actually stitched the lines. So she's traced them out, and then she's used some of our embroidery thread to stitch through. And I reckon, what does she say? Coloured with pearlescent paints and shading with polychromo pencils. Isn't that lovely? Okay, So that's a piece from Jill Askham. Then moving on, let's have a look at this one. So we've got a piece of artwork from Jane. Now Jane has picot cut. I'm sure this was Jane. Yes, it was. So Jane has picot cut in between the trellis. She's replaced thank you with love, which is just down the side. Then we have another one from Jill. Jill's done exactly the same, but she's taken the thank you from the plate. Then we have one from Karen. This is rather, I'd say it all the time, they're all so beautiful. So what Karen's done, she's taken that square, and then she's taken the same square and she's offset it to create the illusion of a layer. But this is all one piece. It's all been picot cut around the outside and also in the trellis. And then she's created a frame around the outside. And I reckon that has been done with the basic grids as well. So that one is from Karen. Let's pop those to one side. Let's have a look at the lily now. One piece of artwork here, and that is from Hazel. And what Hazel's done, if you have a look, these scallops are inside the frame, aren't they? But what Hazel's done, so you've got the scallops on the inside, and then she's turned it around to create little beads. So much versatility just on this one plate alone. Take the frame. You don't have to do the little dewdrops or teardrops. You can ignore those and just have the scallop. You've got your double frame around the outside as well. Then I haven't got anything for this particular one, but I love this sort of, reminds me of sort of like the theatre, the scalloped ruched curtains that go above the stage. Really, really lovely on that design. And you've got 3 different roses to practice on. Then we're going to move down. The heart was the most popular with the design team. So I'm covering up my piece of paper. Look, I've got all the names written down, so I haven't got to keep flipping them over. Cheating. So this one is from Josie. Josie's taken the square frame. Let's bring that over. Let's pop those to one side. Let's come over this way. So you've got your heart. Josie's taken the heart, that lovely frill. See, I didn't even notice the frill until I saw it traced out here. Infilled in the background using the basic grid, and that is a combination of embossed and perforating. If I bring this in on this camera here, where am I going? Don't know whether you could just readjust. Can you see just in between each of those embossed dots, there's a perforation? Look at that. And then a little bit of grid work in the middle as well, and a little bit of picot cutting. Okay, so that's that one from Josie. Then I know this one is from Jill. What Jill's done again, incorporating some embroidery in there. So she has stitched the lattice or trellis work within the heart. She's added a little bit, oh look, do you remember the embroidery stitch kits, the embroidery plates? So she's added a little accent in those corners. I really like that. And then taken the sentiment, happy anniversary, to create a frame all the way around the outside. Then we have one from Hazel. Now this is rather clever as well. Hazel has taken the 2 hearts, she's entwined them, but the frame is this square frame. So she's extended it to make a rectangular panel. She's taken the happy anniversary from the sentiments on the side and popped that in there, and then just introduce a little bit of colour, spot colour in different areas. Okay, so that one is from Hazel. Then we have one from Karen. So this is nice. So Karen's taken these little triangles. She's pico cut them. This is on 2 layers. You've got your, I would say that must be the plum parchment. Let's have a look. What colour has she used? Dusky pink on there, 1 layer. Jane's frame around the outside, the little love you, all pico cut, because that's one of the sentiments on there. Actually, it's not. Look, if I bring in, you've got with love and you've got just for you. So what Karen's done, she's taken love and you and combined, so she's created her own sentiment. On here, you got thank you, happy anniversary, happy birthday, best wishes, with love, just for you, congratulations, and thinking of you. Okay, so we've got another heart. This one is from Glynis. Now Glynis has taken the same corners, then rather than pico cut, she's infilled with the basic grids, added some colour, done some pico cutting in between. Now when you look at this one, where was that one? Like for example, you can see the different size in relation to the thank you one at the top compared to the little trellis within the heart on this one. And then one more of the heart. This one's from Jane Telford, and Jane has taken the heart and she's used it with Josie's circular grids. So if you've been following for the past couple of months, then we were looking at the circular grids from Josie, and that was a good way of putting a centerpiece in there. And then the final one to share with you is from Jill. We've just got one of this particular design from the design team. So if I take that like so, so there is your diamond effect, some lovely grid work in the corner. And that is that actually, it is a separate piece, and it's stuck down as well, but it's actually, it looks as if it's been attached just underneath those corners there. Okay, now don't forget, you could replace happy birthday with any one of those sentiments that are included on the plate as well. I love the colouring on these flourishes, really beautiful. Just take the flourishes, don't have to keep it within the frame. You could make a square, have the flourish. Oh, these look lovely in corners, 4 corners, and then a sentiment in the middle. Really lovely. Let's have a look at this one in a little bit more detail. Really, there we go. And I've just remembered that one from Glynis. I need to bring that one back because I forgot to show you. Where's that one gone? I always forget. Really, hold it over there. If I put it to, where's that gone? There it is. Okay. So a little bit skew with. Okay, this one from Glynis, I always forget about this one. So this is using our voucher pouch card blanks, because what Glynis has done, she has created a little gift card as well. So she's taken the thank you from there. Look. Oh, look, it's a little artist trading card. Thank you. It's 1 of 1 from Glynis, and the date is the 21st of October 25. Are we in October 25? Glynis was thinking way into the future. I think that should say 24. What do you reckon, Glynis? Should that be 24? What's happening on the 21st of October next year? Is it an anniversary? But it's lovely, isn't it? So you can have a little, these little gift tags. These are the voucher pouches from on the website. And there we go. Look at that. See, Jazz's Rose Sampler, straight basic grid, Pergamano Color Exclusive number 26, Lumberjack Plaid Oxide ink, and the Semi-Square tool. The Semi-Square tool, the multi-needles just around the outside to create that lovely outside frame. Isn't that lovely? Oops, a lot on my mind. It was back in October, so I'm sure you had a lot going on back then, Glynis. First time I've turned it over. Okay, so let's put all this lovely artwork to one side, and then there's one of it I just wanted to share with you. When we launched this collection of plates designed by Jazz, they were launched in conjunction with the, oh, I'm going to zoom out now. This was a guide to grid work by Linda Williams. So, oh, hang on, camera's got a bit funny. Sorry about that. All right. A guide to grid work. So this uses the mini straight and diagonal basic bold grids. And what Linda did, it's available as a bundle with the little grids as well, item number 21224. But if you want just the book on its own, it's item 31723. And you can go back to when we launched these. It was one of our Clarity Social TV shows. You can go back and find that either on YouTube or on the Clarity website. And basically, Linda sort of guides us through with some suggestions on what you can do with basic grids. So in the past, Josie's introduced us to her circular grids, like the kings and the queens to create squares and rectangles. But this is taking a basic grid and showing what you can do with it. So we'll be looking at this over the coming weeks as well. But I thought it'd be good to sort of just show you some ideas of what you can do with just one of these particular designs. And if I grab that original piece of artwork from Josie, let me find it. It was the rose. Okay. So what I'm going to do, these are a couple of stages which we used during that particular Clarity Social TV show. So if I take Josie's idea and start with a circle, so this is using the Pico Circle die and Groovi plate. And then let's pop that to one side. Oh, the other thing, look, these fit beautifully within our coasters. And if you're interested in the coasters, imagine, look, these as little gifts. So if you want some coasters, then the item number for that is 70132. So maybe you'll make the card. See, this will make a lovely card, and then the coaster as a gift to complement it. Okay. So that's useful to know. All 6 of those will fit within there. So when we look at what Josie has done here, let's take this to one side. Just take the frame, the outer frame. Now you can put the thank you in there. You could put the lilies in there. You could put the trio of roses. Heart just about fit in there without the squiggles. If you want really static, you could take, see, they don't work, but you could take happy birthday, or you could take one of the other sentiments. Happy birthday fits in there. Okay, so take the frame and use it in its own right. Pop that over there. Then take the plate exactly how it comes. So this is now the rose with the striped background. And do you remember that card? There we go, that one that Jill did, where Jill has then stitched the background instead of doing the straight lines. But how about, oops, sorry, how about missing every other line. So now, for me, let me just slide this over. Try not to let it go out of focus. So if I bring that one over there, this one over here, now it's like an optical illusion. To me, I don't know if it does for you at home, but this rose looks larger. Then using those straight basic grids, you can use it to emboss and perforate. So for example, if I come in over on this camera, so this was a piece that Barb did, see, so you can see there, every other one, you use the basic grids to emboss from the back and then perforate from the front. So it gives it another completely different look. Okay, so that is those four there. But maybe you want to leave the lines out, just like Josie did. So what Josie has done here, this is just all embossed. So if I bring that in, I'm going to bring it over on this camera. There we go. So you can use your, I reckon that's a diagonal grid to infill the background on that one. However, you may want to perforate. So this is where you perforate from the front. And what you'll find is that the colour of what's behind it will come through. And then what about taking one of the patterns from Linda's guide book? There we go. And creating a pattern background and then perforating in between. So there's so many different options. This is just looking at one of the designs on the plate. Now, whether you've gone for the Rosie one or whether you've gone for the festive one, they all have these elements that you can, they're great for, they're like a training plate. They'll give you beautiful artwork if you just trace it exactly how it comes, but they're also good for training for, it's sort of like learning to do your white work, learning to do your colouring, learning to do your picot cutting. Because they're bite-sized pieces of artwork, then for me, it gives you that confidence rather than taking an A5 piece of parchment, taking one of the larger plates, plopping that in the middle and then thinking, now where do I start? To have these, so when you look at the plates themselves, okay, let's bring these in on the, it's like playing cards. Pick a card, any card, okay. So for example, you may decide on this particular one that you want to learn how to do colouring on the rose. So that may be the training technique for that particular one. On this one, maybe you want to learn how to perfect your picot cutting to reveal the trellis. The colour lilies, maybe you want to use this one to practice your white work or your shadow embossing. So it's all about sort of different uses for them. Okay, then when we look here, you've got the scallop. So this is where you can mix and match and look at different ideas. Okay, so there's so many different ways, and that's just literally a tip of the iceberg. So I thought for the rose, what we would do is we would start off with the rose itself. And for this one, we're going to concentrate, I'm going to do exactly as what I think. We're going to look at the colouring on this one. And on this one, we're going to have a look at the picot cutting. And there's a couple of tips which I can share with you when it comes to doing the picot cutting inside these panels. Now, this one is a better one to try rather than the smaller one. You think, oh, smaller is going to be easier. Yes and no. For me, I would go on to the larger area. Okay, so what it is, it's all about sort of trying to bring in different skills just by using one plate. So to start off with, what we're going to do, we're going to work on the back of our Groovi plate so that we can read the word Groovi. And I'm going to I've taken an A5 piece of parchment that I've just cut into an A6. Okay, now if I want to attach it, I'm potentially going to lean over the side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in my plate mate so that I can attach my parchment to it as well. So the plate mate, this is the alphabet and numbers plate mate. Now I'm going to just use half of it just for ease. If you wanted the plate mate, it comes with the extender bars. Right, look, if I turn it this way, they go like so. And then the little extender bars slot in there to give you your plate mate like that. So it gives you the larger area in which to work. But just for ease, what I'm going to do, because it's just the top area I'm going to work on, is I'm going to take a Groovi tab, which are securely on my Groovi guard, and I'm just going to attach that to stop that moving around. Then I'm going to take my parchment to the side, and I'm going to take my tumble dry sheet and just wipe on there. Okay, so I'm going to need my glasses, and then all we're going to do now is decide on that, and I'm just going to go in the center of the piece of parchment. Okay, and a few more Groovi tabs just to hold it in place. So let's have a look. Take a few more off of my plate mate, like so, and attach there. So I'm not leaning over anything. I'm going to go straight with my number 1 tool to create my outer frame first. Okay, so number 1, straight down, gives me a nice crisp line. I'm going to rotate my plate, like so, around there. What can you use instead of a tumble dry sheet? Well, back in the day, they used to use a candle. You could rub a candle over. And what else could you use? So then I'm going to go around the outside. So yeah, a candle. If any of our other friends got any other suggestions for a tumble dry sheet? Right, so we've done that, and then let's do the number 1 tool around the scallop, like so. Okay, and then I'm going to do the scallop there with the number 1 tool as well to give me a beautiful crisp white line. There we go. And there's no rules to say what direction do you go in, where do you start, where do you stop. Then follow it all the way around, like so. You don't have to. I could have just gone with the larger scallop. And then what I'm going to do now is, do I want to do a little bit of white work on here, just like Josie has done here on this finished piece? So Josie's done some white work in the little dots around the outside. I reckon so. So in order to do that, I'm now going to go to the number 2 tool that comes in the starter kit. And I'm going to just very lightly trace out the little circles and dots. Okay. How's everybody doing? Who's ready for Christmas? Anybody? Okay. I reckon many of you are all ready for Christmas. So ask me if I'm ready for Christmas. There's still a couple of weeks to go yet, isn't there? Yeah, plenty of time. Nothing like a last minute Christmas Eve dash to the shops to stock up on the essentials. I know I'm not the only one. So let's have a look. If I lift this up now, let's have a look. We can see, if I turn that over, put a little bit of black card underneath. Let me grab, there's that piece of black card there. I'm going to bring it in on camera number 3. So can you see the difference in the brightness of the white lines? Okay. So now I can reposition that back into place because it's going to slot back into the grooves. Use my Groovi guard tabs to attach. Then continue with the number 2 tool. Now, if I wanted to go even softer, I can apply less pressure, or I can use the number 3 tool. Do you remember when we were looking at the Linda's Snowflake Owl the other week, and we was working on the feathers? Then for that, I used, I think it was the number 3 tool to give me my soft outline. So all I'm doing now, just going around the outside like so. And it really doesn't take long. And sometimes when you're doing this, you see different things. Cheryl's got her decorations up, cards written, presents wrapped, but no food bought yet. Wow, that is organised. Very organised. There we go. I know, Linda, I'm never... Why be ready for Christmas? Why change the habit of a lifetime? I think that's all part of it, isn't it? I'm never organised when it comes to Christmas. It's going to happen whether I'm ready or not. So, oh dear. Okay, so that is now the outside completed. So I'm going to keep the colouring. So I'm just going to go with the number 1 tool for the rose. I really like this particular rose. It's got so much movement to it. Okay, so let's have a look. Just follow the line art like so. And as I say, all of a sudden, the rose starts to come to life. Just like so. Now, if I wanted to, I've created that frame and I could have put anything on the inside. I could have chosen the heart. I could have gone for the lilies. And each of these 6 different designs have 6 different outer frames. So not just to be used in conjunction with the designs on this plate, but also plates you already may have in your collection as well. So take it nice and slowly, like so, and just follow, just get in the groove and just follow the line art. Okay, missed a little bit there. So let's have a look at what we have here. So let's move that out the way. I've just seen Jane's comment. Just in case for those over our friends over, I like your thinking, Jane. Over on YouTube, I can see the messages. The system we use, I can see the messages as they come through on both YouTube and Facebook. But if you're just on Facebook, then you can only see the messages and the comments on Facebook. And if you're just on YouTube, then you can only see those messages. So Jane has suggested, okay, that says, I need to do a competition. People design and make Christmas cards and send them to me for judging. Then I give a little prize, and then I've got all my cards made. I think that's a wonderful idea, Jane. Remind me of that next year. Oh, I agree with Jill. It's weeks until Christmas. Definitely. Oh dear. Jane's way of thinking, I really like that. Okay. So don't forget, I mentioned at the beginning, we have people tuning in at all different times from around the world. We've got our friends in America, Australia, Europe, and everyone comes in at different levels, whether you're just starting out or whether you've been doing it many, many years. And on our YouTube page, there is such a vast library of different techniques, not only just for parching, but for your stamping and your gel press as well. And I know I've covered many different projects over the years since we've been doing Groovi Tuesday. I've had Linda Williams. We've had tutorials from Linda Williams. We've had craft alongs. Check out some of the previous craft alongs. I remember Barb and Linda did one using the Jane Nesterenko rose and the trellis. And there were so many different techniques. And then there were the Christmas treasure craft alongs as well. Barb did a fantastic, you know how Francis Knott does that lovely painting technique on the front of the parchment? Barb did that. It was the little girl on the sleigh on the toboggan. There's a lot out there, and sometimes it's just worthwhile just going back, and they can be either in the Groovi Tuesdays, they can be in the craft alongs, they can be in the Pergamano tutorials. I mean, you've got the Clarity Matters blog as well, where the design team do a fantastic job of doing pictorial step-by-steps. And every week there's a new project. You've got groovy ones, you've got stampy ones, you've got inky ones, you've got die cutting ones. There's a lot out there. I suppose it's just knowing where to look, isn't it? And they're not necessarily all under the Shack or Groovi Tuesday. They'll be made up, as I say, some of the tutorials. I know there was an introduction to grid work, to picot cutting, how to use the sticky ink and glitter. Barb did a lovely demo with the sticky. I think it was with a plate called Tickle Pink. So I just read Jill Wilding's husband has just unpacked the 2 sets of lights for outside and one doesn't work. Bother. I'm sure that's exactly what you said, Jill. It's always the way, isn't it? You get them out, one always doesn't work. Anyway, so going back, so there is a lot out there, and sometimes it's just that sort of redirection on where should I look? I don't know where to look. Say the YouTube page is a good place to start. And as I say, there's techniques covered in that painting effect that Glynis is well known, Francis is well known for. Then Glynis did a series of weekly projects using the multi-needle tools. I've definitely done stuff with Linda Williams on Groovi Tuesday. With the shadow embossing, how to create that effect to make the flowers look lifelike. Yeah, they're really, and when you stop and think, and you think, oh yeah, I'd forgotten about that. I suppose in a way it's like we build up our stash, don't we? Because we get this plate, we get that plate, and we move on to the next one. And we often forget what we've got or what we've done in the past. And I like sort of the different colouring techniques. I mean, I've learned definitely by doing Groovi Tuesday. I'm going to try this, and then last week or the week before, someone said, try stippling with a multi-needle tool. Never even can cross my mind. I've always thought you could only do it with the one needle tool. And I suppose it depends what it is you're after, and we can go so far and sort of learning and adapting and incorporating different plates with different techniques. And for me, these plates from Jazz are a really good way. If you, as I say, if you're new to it, then it's a great place to start. But if you've been parching for many a year, then it's also, you can take your skills that you've learned over the years and incorporate it in those designs. Mix it up a little bit, like this artwork from Jill, where she's introduced the stitching in the lines. I think that's a really lovely effect. Or doing something like what Glynis has done, taking the voucher pouches, I always call them voucher pouches, the voucher pouches, then so you're turning it into a lovely card as well as a gift. Okay. For 2025. Thank you very much, Glynis. And we've looked at, we spent a good series of time on the circular grids and on Josie's other grids, the kings, the queens. They're really, sometimes I often forget, what have we covered? What do we still, excuse me, need to cover? And when you look back, I quite surprised myself. I think, I'd forgotten that we'd done that. And I don't remember doing that. And then someone say, oh, you did it on such and such a time. And it's trying to take all the different sort of elements. Maybe, as I say, maybe you just want to concentrate on colouring. So whether you use the pencils, whether you use the pens, whether you use the Dorso crayons. And for me personally, for my colouring preference is the pencils. But I've learned so much by listening to our friends at home and the designs. Try doing this with the pen, try doing that with the pencil. Using your using your finger with the Dorso crayons to intensify the colour. I would never have thought about that, but James did, and it definitely makes a difference. To have the community around you, whether it be Groovi Worldwide, Clarity Worldwide, there's always someone there to help, isn't there? And it's just trying to cover all the different bases. And I don't know, it really, 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 really does surprise me on how I've progressed over the years. And that's from practice. It's from watching others, i.e. Linda Williams when we do the retreats, Tina Cox, and then watching Jane when Jane was on TV. And sometimes it's, if we don't try, you won't know. And I know some of us are sort of, the head doesn't work that way. I can't try that. What if it doesn't work? I'm more than willing to give something a go. If somebody asks a question, then and I don't know the answer, I will say, I don't know the answer. Let me try it. And then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So it's all about the process, isn't it? So let's have a look at this lovely little rose here. Okay, because I know Barb spoke yesterday in the shack. Let me just zoom in a little bit now. Which way am I going? There we go. So Barb spoke yesterday about sort of like the rest of December. So for the rest of December, I digress slightly. We've got a little list here. So let's go on the overhead. We'll do it as like an old-fashioned rolling thing. So today at 2 o'clock, Clarity Social TV with Jazz and myself. Then Friday the 13th, I'll be back with you at 10 o'clock. And we're going to look at 3D construction with parchment. Then on Monday, it's the final episode of The Shack for the year with Barb, with the exception of Christmas Day. So you got The Shack on Monday the 16th. Then on Tuesday, it will be the last episode of Groovi Tuesday for this year. Christmas Day greetings from Barb, live in The Shack at 10 a.m. Then all systems go for 2025. First Sunday of the month, 5th of January, 3 till 5, Clarity Social TV with Barb and Paul. Normal service resumes back in The Shack at 10 a.m. on the 6th. 2 p.m. Clarity Social TV with Barb and Paul. Tuesday the 7th, 10 a.m. Groovi Tuesday with myself, first one of 2025. 2 p.m. Clarity. So Monday, Tuesday, and Fridays, we try to bring you 10 and 2 each day. Okay. And then on Thursday the 9th, Barb always does an evening shack on a Thursday at 7 p.m. So for this week, rolling back up, 2 o'clock today, and then Friday, it will just be 1 hour at 10 a.m. And then next week, in the lead up to the week before Christmas, it's just 10 a.m. Shack and 10 a.m. Groovi Tuesday. Okay. So that is what we're just bringing a closure to the end of the year, and then something to look forward to in 2025. And there is some exciting stuff coming in 2025. I can think of 3 new things already up here. Well, so there's lots to look forward to. Yeah, there really is. I know, I'm terrible. I think with so I just saw Sally, there was no 2 p.m. on Friday. Friday just gone. What did I do? There wasn't. Sometimes we look at, Barb did the Treescape collection at 10 o'clock. And with the lead up to Christmas, we're obviously aware that many of our friends at home are getting ready for Christmas and don't have time to tune in, and they've got family and friends to deal with. So just in this lead up, it will just be 10 o'clock on Friday of this week. And it was the same last week as well. Right, where's my rose gone? Okay, there we go. See, I love the simplicity of the design, and maybe I just want to put it inside a coaster like so. Ooh, go a little bit wonky. Now, if you're not necessarily into your colouring yet, then maybe you want to go for some of our designer parchment. I'm sure we've still got that on offer in the sale. I might be wrong. Then you've got designer parchment that gives you instant colour. You've got the coloured parchment, like the two-tone, that also gives instant colour as well. And in previous episodes, we've seen how we can work with those, how we can take the colour out, how we can reintroduce them. So maybe you're looking for quick and easy gifts. The coasters are a really good way of doing that, especially when you combine it with the designer parchment, for example. So one of my favourite colourways, I know I shouldn't have a favourite, But if you're looking for something fresh and zesty, then you've got Toscana. Okay, now Toscana, for those of you that maybe not familiar with our designer parchment, you've got 12 different colorways in here, and you get 4 sheets of each. Okay, and it gives you beautiful color instantly. That's one of my favorite ones. I love that. That rose would look lovely in that. Then some of them look, that's nice as well. So you've got Toscana, which is one of my favorites on there. And then you've got Waimea Falls, another fresh and zesty one. I love that one. Really sorry, focus. I love that one as well. Do I have a favorite? Well, I would say Waimea Falls. No, I love that one as well. Out of the, what we've got, 6 different designs in the designer parchment, I would say it's a hard choice between Indian Summer and Waimea Falls, and maybe Toscana. I don't know. They all have their own uses, don't they? Whether, and a couple of weeks back, Bob was showing us how to stamp onto the parchment with that Daydreamer stamp set and create the reflection. So Gillian Saunders, anybody doing the Nutcracker hunt? The Nutcracker hunt, that it sure is fun, isn't it? Gillian is stuck on number 8. She's got all the others. Who else is playing along on the Nutcracker hunt? We send out an email every morning. I think it goes out at 8 o'clock with a new clue. And when you work out what the answer to that clue, and you go to the website to look up that product, you'll find one of the Nutcracker characters hiding somewhere. And you'll also find that there's a 25% discount on that product as well. So even if you've missed the previous clues and you find them, that 25% discount still stands until the end of the hunt. So yeah, definitely check it out. If you're not sure, go to the claritycrafts.com website, and on the front you'll see a little banner that says Nutcracker Hunt. If you click on there, it will give you all your previous clues. It will explain exactly how it works. Sally, me, breakfast, Nutcracker, first task of the day. There you go. What a way to set you up for the day, isn't it? Avril's doing it as well. She's got all of them so far. And we're on what, day 10 already. It's quite funny. Gilly in the office, she reads it and she went, oh, I'm not sure about this one, because Gilly doesn't know the answers. There's only a few people in the office that know the answers to the clues, with Barb obviously being one of them. So yeah, and then she goes, oh, I found it, or oh, I can't find it today. But today's one was fun. She guessed that one straight away. So thank you for joining me. Thank you to the lovely Jane. Don't forget, I will be back at 2 o'clock with a very special guest, the lovely Jazz. And we're going to be having a look at another 2 of her Desert Island disc designs that she's created in both stamp and in Groovi. So if you want to see a little bit more of Jazz, find out a little bit more behind the way in which her head works, because it's magical, it really, really is, then I hope you can join us at 2 o'clock this afternoon. And if you can't, then don't worry, you can always go back and watch on the Clarity Social TV catch-up area. So thank you as always to the lovely design team and Jane for helping out. And I'll see you at 2 o'clock. Bye-bye. Where's that? There we go.